Welcome to KTVU Crime Files, not only reporting on Bay Area crime, but also offering advice for solutions.
7 people were arrested in connection to a chaotic sideshow in the city of San Jose, during which a police officer was attacked while rushing to help an injured spectator. As KTVU's Ann Rubin reports tonight, these arrests are part of a bigger crackdown on sideshows in San Jose.
When this San Jose officer was attacked in the thick of a sideshow, the video went viral. But that fleeting fame will have lasting consequences, according to the police chief.
Be assured, we will find you, we will arrest you, we will send a resounding message to you and your fellow lawbreakers, not in San Jose.
And with that, they announced the arrest of 7 people, including a juvenile. Some had jumped on the police car. Others tried to smash the windows. At least one allegedly threatened the officer with knives as he rushed to help an unconscious spectator.
These rolling incubators of crime are fueled by a mob mentality and a perverse thirst for internet fame.
But that notoriety may be their undoing. Police say they're using social media as well as video from body-worn cameras and license plate readers to track them down. They're also using data science to track sideshow trends and a collaboration with the University of Chicago Crime Lab to establish best practices in dealing with them.
We are setting a very clear expectation in San Jose that we're not going to tolerate sideshows. We've passed laws that are indicative of that. It is illegal to promote or spectate at sideshows, not just to be the one driving the vehicle.
The hope is that these arrests and felony charges will act as a deterrent and keep sideshows out of San Jose. If not, the district attorney says participants be warned, this is no game.
Will find themselves in real trouble, in real jail, behind real bars.
The people arrested came from all over the Bay Area. One of them was even from Arizona. Officials say dealing with sideshows is actually a regional problem. They're now establishing a working group to try to make a more regional solution. In San Jose, Ann Rubin, KTVU Fox 2 News.
The man accused of shoving a woman on a BART platform and killing her is in jail tonight. Our Christian Captain reports from the Powell Street BART station in San Francisco. The very latest on this disturbing case.
BART police are investigating a deadly incident Monday night at the Powell Street BART station.
This was a tragedy that happened last night, and something that is extremely rare.
BART Police Chief Kevin Franklin says shortly after 11 p.m., officers received reports that a 74-year-old woman had been struck by an oncoming Millbrae-bound train.
We also worked with witnesses to determine that there was a suspect in the area who apparently, we believe, intentionally pushed this victim into the side of the train as the train approached on the platform.
Investigators say the victim, Corazon Dandan, did not fall into the path of the train. Instead, they say she fell back onto the platform. She was taken to an area hospital where she later died from her injuries. BART police arrested 49-year-old Trevor Belmont, also known as Hoke Tang, on the BART platform on suspicion of murder. Investigators say it's too early to say if the victim and suspect knew one another, had a conflict before she was shoved, or if this was a random attack.
Right now, any connection between the victim and the suspect is undetermined, but certainly part of the investigation.
BART riders say they have their own stories to tell, but say this attack was shocking.
And I've definitely had some unsavory experiences over like all the years taking it. So I guess it doesn't surprise me, but it is shocking to hear.
Regular riders say they've worried about this very thing happening to them.
When BART comes in, I don't step there right away. I just wait until it's completely stopped and open the door, then I go there.
In fact, some riders say they carry protection close at hand just in case.
Always carry a pepper spray and a pocket knife with me, and when I just hold on to it, just in case things happen. And I see a lot of, crazy people, and they, take their pants off, and try to do, in front of me.
BART's police chief says he can't remember a previous incident of someone being shoved into the path of an oncoming BART train. The department says this incident was captured on camera.
And so CCTV evidence is part of the evidence that we are reviewing in this case, and it will help us bring the charges to the greatest extent of the law.
In San Francisco, Christian Kaftan, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Reports of an attempted stabbing at Shop Heroic Wholesale store in Vacaville ended in an arrest. It happened just before 1 o'clock Friday afternoon, and surveillance here captured the confrontation. Take a look here. You can see a shirtless man seen stuffing items into a bag before he's confronted by an employee. The man then throws items at the employee before he leaves the store. The manager says the man came back, pulled a knife from his bag, and then lunged forward at the employee before he left. Officers were able to track that man down. They identified him as 40-year-old Stephen Daniel Case, and they arrested him. Police believe Case was also involved in a strong-arm robbery at a Walmart earlier that morning. To arrests in Cupertino following a string of armed robberies, police responding to a call just before 1 a.m. Witnesses say two men, later identified as 21-year-old Yosmar Castro Cardona and 24-year-old Jose Herrera, entered the 7-Eleven store on McClellan Road wearing masks and gloves. The witnesses told police these men took money from the cash register while brandishing a firearm. The two suspects later left in a getaway car and were found by officers following reports of a second robbery at another 7-Eleven location. Officers eventually arrested the pair following a chase that spanned several cities into San Mateo County. And during the arrest, officers say they recovered a bag filled with cash and 2 firearms. Frustration and disbelief. A gas station in Oakland raided by dozens of robbers. The owner says police are not responding until several hours later.
Things has to be fixed somehow. Things has to be, the citizen of Oakland has to have some security.
Thankfully, no one working in that store was hurt. So far, no arrests have been reported. Good evening on this Friday. I'm Christina Rendon.
And I'm Christian Kaftan. It all happened early this morning on Hegenberger Road in Oakland. New at 10, KTVU's Amber Lee spoke with the gas station's owner about what happened during that robbery and the changes he now says he wants to see. Right, Amber?
That's right, Christian. The owner tells me he's sharing his story and sharing the surveillance video to let everyone know how bad things have gotten, and he's demanding action. Surveillance video shows a brazen flash mob-style robbery of the 76 gas station mini market on Hegenberger Road in Oakland. It happened early Friday morning around 4 o'clock. Dozens of people ransacked the store. Owner Sam Marday tells me the free-for-all lasted about 40 minutes.
This is the hardest thing you could ever go through, you know, especially if you've been put in sweat and tears day in, day out.
This 24-hour business was offering only window service during the overnight hours. But Marday says the thieves broke in through the front door while 2 employees were inside.
You can see the shattered glass right here. This is the way they entered.
He shared this video of the damage left by the thieves. They emptied shelves and display cases of merchandise, along with cash totaling $25,000 from the register and the ATM that had just been filled for the holiday weekend. Marday says he and his family had just taken over this business last August.
Building yourself for the last 10 months. And then you're back to square one.
He tells me he is aware that this area is a hotspot for thieves because of its proximity to the Oakland airport, and travelers are considered easy targets.
I did not think it's this terrible. I thought maybe once every blue moon.
Marday suspects the thieves are people who participated in a sideshow in the area. He says police did not respond to the robbery until almost 9 hours later.
It's very disheartening. I'm scared to go out after dark, and I don't know. It's alarming.
While we were at the store Friday afternoon, a police unit pulled up and parked in the lot. We were told it is part of the violence suppression unit stationed at known crime hotspots. City Council member Treva Reed, who represents the area, issued a statement saying, in part, I continue to advocate and work to secure increased public safety resources and response, urging the mayor to prioritize our district's demands.
Well, as of right now, we don't see any improvements, not even a little bit. Hopefully, you know, the right people will hear this message and start making the right moves, you know, to save the city.
What are you going to do now, moving forward?
Rebuild and pray.
Councilmember Reed says more does need to be done and that those involved must be identified and held accountable. We also reached out to Oakland police. They've just gotten back to me. They say investigators are now reviewing evidence. Christian.
Shocking video, Amber. Thank you very much.
Even for a city that's long grappled with public safety concerns, some longtime Oaklanders say crime is now out of control. They claim slow police response times are making the situation worse. KTVU's Jana Katsuyama reports.
And this weekend, that impact.
When Rabbi David Labrowski came in for worship Saturday, this is what he and his congregation saw: shattered glass on the front window of the Chabad Center for Jewish Life in Oakland.
Contacted, called 911. They said these things happen all the time. You got to go online and file a vandalism report.
Security cameras captured the crime, showing a person throwing a large rock into the window. Rabbi Lebowski says his congregation is worried this is a hate crime because it's the second attack in 2 weeks. On June 21st, just before midnight, another person took a larger rock and threw it at the center. Since
our menorah was dismembered on Hanukkah, and the perpetrators were not found or not arrested, we feel like, it's just almost like allowing people to do this knowing there'd be no consequences.
Where was that thing?
Near the Oakland airport, another citizen is feeling the same way. David Michael took video as he retrieved a backpack Sunday on Hegenberger Road that had been stolen from a tourist at the 76 station.
We met up and he said that his passport and his work computer were missing, and that he called the police.
Michael says police never came, and while they waited, he says another tourist was robbed at the same spot.
I waited around. I was there an hour, and no one ever showed up.
There's an incident that happens every other day, If it's not happening here, it's happening somewhere else in the other gas station.
The 76 gas station manager, Sam Marday, says Oakland police and city officials need to do something immediately about police response times. He knows firsthand because last Friday, he also tried calling police after a mob swarmed the gas station store.
30, 50 people storm in the store, whereas only 2 employees in there. I think that's a higher level of crime to me. Their response is, there's nothing we could do. You're gonna just, if you want the report, file it online. Unless you're gonna wait 2-3 hours, which I was like, 2-3 hours is too long.
Several police patrol cars were out Monday afternoon circling the area at the 76 gas station, and the rabbi says he did meet with police on Monday, but many of them say that they want to see the city do more. In the newsroom, Jana Katsuyama, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
New at 10, the Oakland Police Department is searching for 2 victims tonight who were attacked. Oakland police releasing this video showing the attack, and as you can see here, the suspect approaches both women before punching one to the ground and then striking the other. The suspect later running off with the victim's belongings. Police say this happened Friday night around 6:30 on San Pablo Avenue, right near 55th Street.
The Oakland Police Department has made an arrest in this case, and we would like anybody with any information to assist the victims to come forward and make the report.
Police say an off-duty officer and other witnesses saw the crime. The suspect, an Oakland resident, was arrested shortly after.
New at 6, a homicide investigation now underway in San Jose after a man was found shot inside of a crashed car. This latest homicide happened near Liska Lane yesterday morning. When officers arrived, they say a car had crashed into a garage at a home and caught fire. A man was in the driver's seat suffering from a gunshot wound. That man was later pronounced dead. A woman was also in the passenger seat. Police say she was shot as well, but is expected to survive. So far, no arrests have been made. This is San Jose's 18th homicide of the year.
Tonight, a man is now in custody after he fired at deputies during an eviction notice in San Francisco. The sheriff's office says a civil unit was attempting to execute an eviction notice at a home near Buena Vista Park. They say after they arrived 10:45 this morning, a man fired multiple rounds right through the door. Dozens of deputies and officers quickly arrived on scene. The area was evacuated. The surrounding area was blocked off as the gunman barricaded himself in the home. But soon after, the suspect was eventually taken into custody, ending the standoff.
Across the Bay here, supervisors in San Mateo County have joined a growing number of county and city leaders nationwide that are calling for tougher restrictions on ghost guns. The board is urging the U.S. Supreme Court to support the Biden administration's attempt to curtail the availability of these often untraceable weapons. In April, the High Court agreed to take up a ghost gun case that was struck down by lower courts. Ghost guns are homemade weapons that don't have serial numbers, and law enforcement agencies say they're being used in a growing number of violent crimes.
Oakland police are cautioning the community tonight to stay vigilant. This after robbers pretended to be OPD officers while breaking into 2 homes over the weekend. So the first incident happened in the Redwood Heights neighborhood around midnight on Friday. This was on Selkirk Street off 39th Avenue. 2 men told the alarmed resident that they were OPD before ransacking the home and taking off with watches and jewelry. The second incident was in East Oakland Saturday afternoon near 83rd Avenue and Birch Street. OPD's deputy chief says to call 911 if you ever feel skeptical about someone claiming to be law enforcement.
A man convicted of killing his girlfriend and disposing of her body in Alameda has been sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. Back in May, 43-year-old Joseph Roberts was found guilty for the murder of Rachel Buckner. Her dismembered body was found inside a black garbage bag along a waterfront trail in Alameda last summer. His 15 years to life sentence was the maximum penalty.
5 people arrived in what turned out to be a stolen Lexus and checked for cars that were unlocked.
They're looking for a crime of opportunity. They're literally going down the street, checking car doors to see if they're locked or unlocked.
And they didn't just rifle through the cars.
Criminals are now taking those remote control garage door openers, opening the garage door, and then they're accessing the garage also to see what else is in there that they can steal.
The group also went through the cars on the driveway next door. A witness called police.
When one of the officers arrived, she observed a group running from a garage and jumping into a vehicle, and then they left the area at a high rate of speed.
Moraga police chased the Lexus on Canyon Road and Pinehurst, but canceled the pursuit. The Lexus was later found abandoned by BART police in East Oakland. Police say the incidents are a reminder to take steps to avoid being victimized.
If we can remove the opportunity, we can stop the crime.
Neighbors say they're unaccustomed to these kinds of burglaries.
It's a little concerning. I mean, we normally don't have crime, and you forget to lock your doors on your car and even the house doors sometimes. So it's a good reminder to make sure that everything stays locked up.
So the takeaways here, keep those garage door clickers out of your home, take them inside with you if you park on the street, no matter where you live. And of course, good idea, lock the door between the garage and your home for peace of mind. Live in Moraga, Henry Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Well, 1 man is dead, a woman injured after San Jose police say they were shot while driving on the 4th of July. Investigators say the car they were traveling in crashed into a house, then burst into flames. KTVU's Joey Horta joining us now after talking with witnesses who, Joey, say they were pretty shaken up by this.
Yeah, Christian, the people we heard from can't believe this happened in their neighborhood where children play outside. 1 man is dead, and police say whoever pulled the trigger got away. A quiet neighborhood on Lisca Lane near Kaiser Permanente San Jose Medical Center turned into chaos just before 5 o'clock Thursday morning when police say a man driving a car was shot and killed. Witnesses, afraid to reveal their identities, are stunned.
I just hear boom, boom. I get up and I look out my window. You hear a woman screaming, and then you hear another boom, boom, and then you hear boom.
A woman who was a passenger in the car was also shot before witnesses say a white Volvo with no license plates came speeding out of this apartment parking lot across the street before crashing right into the garage of this home and bursting into flames. This witness called 911.
I'm looking out my window and I run outside because I hear a woman screaming.
Rescuers pulled the man from the burning car, but despite their efforts, could not save his life. He died at the scene.
Very traumatizing, scary, too close to home.
The family that lives in this now damaged 2-story home, which neighbors say includes 9 children, managed to escape unharmed as firefighters got the blaze under control.
There's so many kids, and that's just very terrifying for anyone to go through.
Neighbors say police arrived within minutes of the shooting and they were told to evacuate in case the fire spread.
Terrifying for sure.
Witnesses recall seeing several shell casings outside an apartment where the car took off from.
But like to be in a residential area like that and shooting, like that's just not okay. I hope that wherever they are, they get captured and they're put in jail.
According to police, the suspect got away before officers arrived. Detectives are still piecing together what led up to the shooting. The coroner's office is still working to contact the victim's family before they release his name. This marks the 18th homicide in San Jose this year. As far as the woman who was shot at least once, she's expected to survive.
Police are asking anyone with information about this shooting to give them a call.
One of the victims in the Juneteenth mass shooting at Oakland's Lake Merritt is now accused of being one of the gunmen that night. 23-year-old Jawan Kelly faces 4 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. Police say he was one of 4 people who took part in a shootout with another group on the north side of the lake. Kelly was shot multiple times and was listed in critical condition at the hospital. There is no update tonight, though, on his condition. In all, 14 people were shot on Juneteenth. These are the first charges to be filed in this investigation. Sonoma County Sheriff's Office shared this photo of guns that it confiscated and also announced the arrest of 44-year-old Michael Morrison. Deputies say they were responding to a potential domestic violence call Saturday afternoon on Arnold Drive, right off the Sonoma Highway, when they spotted weapons including AR-15 parts and a parts kit for building an AK-47. Morrison was arrested and booked on several felony accounts. He was later released on $30,000 bail. The city of Oakland made another major fireworks bust for the second day in a row. Police were called to 6th Avenue, right near East 15th Street, not far from Lake Merritt. Officers say they saw a group of people right near a vehicle who then took off once they saw those officers arrive. Now, police say they found more than 500 pounds of illegal fireworks right there in plain view. Officers towed and impounded the vehicle for the unlawful possession of dangerous fireworks.
A business owner in Fremont is frustrated after burglars broke into his building twice in 2 months. The most recent incident happened yesterday morning on Business Center Drive, an industrial area in Fremont. A surveillance video shows the suspect breaking in. The owner tells KTVU that they used a vehicle to ram the garage door. Back in May, a similar incident happened at the same location. The owner did not say if anything was taken.
A family-run gas station in Fremont is the latest business trying to combat a rash of break-ins and thefts. In one recent incident, thousands of gallons of diesel fuel were stolen in the middle of the night. New at 5, KTVU reporter Mike Sayer is live in Fremont tonight to show us how this business owner, Mark, is fighting back.
Indeed, Garcia, this was a brazen crime and occurred in the middle of the night at this Valero gas station, which is at a very busy intersection here in Fremont, Fremont Boulevard and Maury Avenue.
We added this extra padlock on top.
Valero manager Shaheen Ollier says this gas station has been in the family since it was started by his father back in 1981. But never, he says, has the business faced as much rampant crime as it is seeing today. In these still shots from security cameras, you can see a white pickup outfitted with special tanks parked at the diesel pump in the middle of the night.
They had a key to get into the gas pumps, which we later found out was a universal key that they somehow got a copy of. They were able to manipulate the computer system inside the fuel pump and basically authorize unlimited gas.
And Ollier says this is the 3rd time diesel has been stolen. Fremont detectives did open an investigation, telling him the fuel is most likely being sold on the black market to construction companies or others which use diesel for heavy machinery. So how much fuel was stolen?
Oh, it's in the tens of thousands.
Ollier says it is very difficult to operate in these conditions. In this video from June 27th, 2 men carrying special metal saws approached the main door of the mini-mart, likely trying to break in to steal the ATM, which is just inside. But Ollier was alerted by his newly installed camera system, and the would-be thieves ran off.
Hi, how are you today? You have your code already?
The cash box at his car wash has been broken into twice, with the entire machine needing to be replaced at a cost of over $10,000. And one of his employees had his car broken into while he was inside at work.
Yeah, I'm mad about it. I got to pay $150 in my pocket to fix the window, yeah. But what can I do about it?
For Ollier, he says the toll of all of this crime is not easy to describe.
Unfortunately, with all the consistent theft, with all the consistent, it's not just the financial hardships, which, don't get me wrong, it has been difficult for us, but mentally, we don't sleep at nights.
And back to a live picture now. Ollier says he knows there are no easy answers to these crime problems, and he wants to emphasize he's not being critical of the Fremont Police Department, which he says does indeed respond to his calls for service. We did reach out to the Fremont Police Department this afternoon. They did tell us this does remain an open investigation, and they are continuing to pursue investigative leads. Reporting live in Fremont, I'm Mark Sayer, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
The San Jose Police Department has unveiled a new crime information dashboard that provides the public with a detailed month-to-month breakdown of the number of serious crimes in the Bay Area's largest city. dating back to April of 2023. Police say the goal is to give everyone living and working in San Jose a more comprehensive view of the latest crime trends in the city.
Governor Newsom and other Democratic leaders in Sacramento have launched a last-minute push to put a second crime-fighting measure before voters. Proposition 2 would toughen penalties for repeat shoplifters and drug dealers who lace substances with fentanyl. It is a rival proposal to another ballot measure already certified for the ballot that's designed to roll back parts of Prop 47. That measure is backed by a group of district attorneys and business leaders. Democrats are criticizing them for a breakdown in efforts to negotiate the issue off of the ballot altogether.
In life, it's not black and white. There's some gray area, and you got to work together to be able to get compromise. These days, it seems like in politics, it's frowned upon.
Lawmakers are scheduled to vote on Wednesday on whether to approve the new initiative for the ballot. More than 20 law enforcement agencies and police union groups, including Novato's POA, called on lawmakers to reject the new initiative. In a letter, they said it was much weaker and less effective than the measure that has already been certified. They said our law enforcement organizations are strongly opposed to the ongoing political games involved in this latest attempt to improperly influence and defeat a citizens' initiative.